Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sadashiva Samarambam Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Narayanam Padmabhavam Vasishtam Shaktim cha Tatputra Parasharam cha Vyasam Shukam Gauda Padam Mahantam Govinda Yogindra Matasya Sishyam Sri Shankaracharya Matasya Padma Padam cha Hastamalakam cha Shishyam Tam Todakam Vartikakaramanyan Asmad Gurun Santatamanatosmi Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Loka Shankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Samasta Jana Kalyani Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidparam Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta Gocharam Tamagocharam Govindam Paramanandam Sadgurum Pranatosmyaham. There is a beautiful metaphor in the verse number 140, 143, no, not 143, 145, about the Konama Bandha. And what is called as Bandhanam, what is considered as the bondage. We'll read that verse and then proceed on. Verse number 145. Bijam samsriti bhumi jasya tutamaha.
Bijam samsriti bhumi jasya tutamaha.
Dehatma dhirankuraha.
Dehatma dhirankuraha.
Raga pallavamambu karma tuvapuhu. Skando savashakikaha. Agranindriya samhatischa vishayaha. Pushpani dukkham palam. Nana karma samudbhavam bahuvidam. Bhoktatra jivas kagaha. Bijam samsriti bhumi jasyutatamo dehatmadirankuraha. Raga pallavamambu karma tuvabuhu. Skando savashakikaha. Agranindriya samhatischa vishayaha. Pushpani dukkham palam. Nana karma samudbhavam bahuvidam. भोक्तात्र जीवः खगः अत्र खगः जीवः भोक्ता ईश्वरः न भोक्ता भवति अचेतन जड न भोक्ता भवति तस्मात् जीवः the illusory entity called jiva alone can be the bhokta here, and it is considered as a bird because it is perching on a tree whose bijam the seed is samsritihi samsara bijam samsriti bhumijasya vrukshah tu tamah dehatma dhirankurah. The sprout of it is nothing but the dehatmadihi. Deham atma iditihi. The misunderstanding of I am the body is considered as the sprout. And the leaves that come out of is raga pallavam. All the leaves are raga. And then ambu karma. What makes this tree grow is karma, which is the water. Skanda savashakikaha, and also the vapuhu and skandava vapuhi is the trunk. So ambu is the water, vapuhu is the trunk, and then asavaha meaning breathing, pranaha, all the pranas are considered as the branches there. Agranindriya samhadischa vishayaha. All these various, at the end of the twig, there is flowers that are none other than the various objects of experience. Pushpani, dukkam phalam. The result of that, the pushpa, the flower results into fruit. In the same way, contact with the sense objects becomes the fruit, which is dukkham. Nana karma samudbhavam bhakvidam. This way, the one which is created through many, many different kinds of various actions that are creating so many different kind of miseries in our life. Bhokta atra jivaha. So, idanim kadam vimokshaha istyasya prashnasya uttaram uttum purvoktam bandham sahetukam samulam anuvadati. Now comes kadam moksha, because the question was konama bandha kadamesha kadam pradishta asya pradishta bandhasya kadam bandhasya pradishta karma eva bandhanasya pradishta karanam. Action alone is the cause of the sustenance of this bondage. Obviously, the next question is katam vimokshaha. How is the result, end of this misery, bondage, how can it end? That is answered in the next verse, verse number 146. Idanim kadam vimoksha ityasya prashnasya uttaram vaktum purvoktam bandham sahetukum saphalam anuvadati ajnana. Once we know cause of the problem, then only we can find the solution for it. Ajnana eva karanam, and ajnana expresses itself as karma, because we cannot directly see ajnana. Ajnana प्रत्यक्ष रूप में नहीं दिख सकता है. So अज्ञान का देखना कर्म से ही देख सकता है. Meaning our action alone represents how ajnani we are. When a person is greedy, extremely passionate about getting things in this world, obviously that is an expression of his ajnana. Dehatma buddhi is there. Therefore, ajnanam eva moola karanam. Idi vaktum, to explain that, 146 verse. Ajnana molo yanatma bandho naisargiko nadirananta iritah janmapya vyavadi jaradi dukkha Pravahatapam janayatya amushya Ajnana mulo yamanatma bandhoho naisargiko nadirananta iritah Janmapyayavyadi jaradi dukkha pravāhatāpam janayatyamushya. Ajnana eva moola. We saw that in the other class also. Moola avidya. Moola avidya means root cause of the problem is ignorance. Anadi is the avidya. आदि रहिता है अनादि, उसका आरंभ नहीं हमको जान सकता है. क्यों? ब्रह्म अपि अनादि, अविद्या अनादि, आत्मा अपि अनादि. But there is a world of difference between these two. Atma anadi because it is eternal, everlasting, and there cannot be any cause for Chaitanya to start. If you say consciousness started at some point of time, out of what? And before that it was unconscious. See, if I take a pot, okay, imagine a pot. Before that it was mud. So the origin of the pot, we can say mud, because it was in a different form and it took the form of a pot. But yet the nature of the mud continues to be in the pot also. Therefore, you cannot say, a mud became mud, no mud became mud. You cannot say that. But no pot became pot. That is possible, because pot is not a change from mud to no mud. So mud was there, but in a not particular form, and a form is taken, therefore it is pot. So Ghatasya adi sambhavati. There is the possibility of Ghata become possible at some point of time where it was not. But Atma anadi, because Atmanaha Swarupam Satchidananda. Satswarupa Atma asatnas bhavati. So asat cannot be cause of sat. If you say sat is the cause of sat, then what is the difference? Similarly, achit, jadam cannot be cause of the jadam, chetanam. So before what it was, it cannot be achetanam. Then dukkham cannot be the karana for ananda. So what was it before? Ananda only. So Satchidananda Swarupa Atma Anadi. This is clear. And Anantam, endless, because Sat cannot end. Existence cannot become non-existent. Existence, not existence of thing, but existence. The nature of existence cannot be otherwise. So this way, Sat Chit Ananda cannot be having any end. So we say Anadi Atma Satchidananda Swarupaha Anantaha. All right. But Avidya is also Anadi. Kyun? Anadi Kasmat. Why? Because hai hi nahi. It is not there. Mityarupatvat. That which is not there, what is the beginning of not there? When did I not have my horns on my head? Anadi. Is it not? You cannot say, until yesterday I saw it. Now I don't see it. What is not there? Asatyatvat avidya anadi. Because it is only an appearance. It is not a real thing. And therefore, that which is not real cannot have any beginning. Asato, and what called nasato vidyate bhavaha abhavo vidyate sataha. Bhagavan Krishna has given that very clearly in second chapter. Sataha abhavaha na vidyate, asataha bhavaha na vidyate. The existence cannot have absence, and that which is non-existent cannot have true reality. So therefore, anadi avidya, because it is being a mere perception and not reality. Secondly, but this illusory perception of avidya can come to an end on vidya udaya samaye, jnana utpatti samaye. Just like when I see mistake the rope to be a snake, when did the snake appear on the rope? What is the adi of the rope, the snake? कब से आप snake देखते हैं? Cannot say, I was seeing the rope and one day suddenly I started seeing a snake. If you know it was a rope, then you would not see the snake anymore. The snake perception started, we do not know when. It is not that I was understanding it as a rope and then suddenly one day I started to think it is a snake. That is not correct. So, anadi avidya. Therefore, it is ajnana moolo ayam anatma bandho. Anatma bandha. Anatma eva bandha. That is atma aham. Parantu aham deha atma idi. This I am understanding it as my body is the atman. That is the bondage. And it is naisargika. Natural. It is so common. Naisargika anadi. And here also it says ananta. We'll see that why it is so. Avidya is also anantam. Ananta iritaha, it is said to be. And what does it do? If it is harmless, then there's no problem. Janma, apyaya. Janma means jananam. Apyaya means maranam. Janma, apyaya, vyadi, disease, jara, old age, adi, dukkha, pravaha, tapam. A continuous flow of this suffering. Janayati, avidya janayati. What? Janma, apyaya, vyadi, jara, adi, dukkha, pravaha, tapam janayati. This flow of river called birth, death, old age, disease, continuously. So that is the nature of this ajnana. So we'll see, ayam sarvaloka prasiddha anatma bandha sariradi anatma tadatmya abhimanaha ajnana modaha ajnanam swaswarupa ajnanam moolam hetuhu yasya saha. Moolam hetuhu, moolam is hetuhu, ajnana moolam, ajnanam swaswarupa ajnanam moolam ajnana molaha sariradi anatma tadatmya abhimanaha. What is ajnana here? In the body, etc., having the kind of confusion or kind of a notion that this is me, that is considered as the mula karanam. Naisargigaha. Purva adhyasa janya samskara hetukaha. Purva abhyas. What is called naisargigaha? Natural. It is natural because it has become swabhava for us. When we say, oh, he's getting angry, uska swabhava is hai. So when we say that, what does it mean? There is no struggle in him getting angry because that is swabhava. Natural. So naturally we have this identification with the physical body as me. Therefore, purva abhyasa janma samsakara hetukaha. It is the cause of all the samskaras, all the traits of the individual. Also it is called anadihi. Why? Anadi ajnana karyatvat. Kasmin samaye utpannahe idi vaktum jnatum ashakyaha. We do not know when did it start, how did it start. Vaktum na shakyaha. Cannot be spoken at all. Ananta hai. क्यों अविद्या अनंत है? Endless. Jnanam vina antah nashah na vidyate. Why it is ananta? Because without knowledge it will never end. So jnanam is the only remedy for that. Therefore, jnanam vina antam nashah na vidyate adi asya iti anantah. That way. Iritaha abhiyuktaha iti sheshaha nanto na adi iti smritischa edat etatrik ayam bandha. This is the nature of bondage. Amushya jivasya janma apyaya vyadi jara dukkha pravaha tapam. Janma utpattihi sharirasya apyayaha maranam vyadihi rogaha Jara Vartakyam, old age. Adipatena Adibhautika Adidaivika Atapa Parigraha. Adi, when it is said, birth, death, old age, disease, etc. Meaning what? In between all others. Adibhautika, Adidaivika, Adhyatmika tapas. Caused by external forces, unknown forces like Daivik, known forces like worldly situations, internally with the mind and other agitations, etc. All of them are included there. Taihi janyani tani dukkhani desham pravaha. Pravaha means continuous flow. Parampara upari upari sannipadaha tena tapam udvegam janayati utpadayati. Continuous and forcefully coming in. By the time we think of a thing, a situation, a event in our life, very happy, joy, next moment it hits. Is it not? Again, some other calamity, some other event, some other twist of events. There is no end to this, this pravaha, flow, continuous flow. So this way, pravaha tapam janayati. Asya parameshvara anugraha labda dridadara vivekajanya swaswarupa anubhava mantara kenabi anuchchedyatvam aha nastratri. Other than the very great grace of the Lord, and because of which one gets the swaswarupa anubhavam antara, without the realization of one's own nature, no way you can bring an end. Because kadam vimoksha. That's a question raised by the student. How do I get out of this bondage? First of all, understand how intense this bondage is. By escaping from one place to another, changing situations, changing house, or changing this, any way you do it, it doesn't end. When we took the Diksha, when Gurudev, when he gave his Diksha, when he Upadesh he gave, now you have got changed the name and your clothes has changed, but further find out whether you changed or not. Because now, after study, you are given Chaitanya as a last name and name change. And cloth also changed. But when you get into the world, then only we know whether you changed at all or not. Because world doesn't, it's always what it is. Because of the study you had for 2 years or so in the Sandipani, you should have changed. The world would be the same. Then why do you ask? Then you ask, why this cloth is necessary? He said very clearly, cloth is like a fence. It's like a fence. When you are when the plant is growing, you put a fence for 2 reasons: to protect the sapling being eaten away by the animals, right? And the sapling should feel secure about it. Also, that is because of the fence. And also the outside, the animals know I cannot go and access it. So you feel secure. At the same time, the outside, the animals, etc., will know that he cannot touch you too. In the same way, when you are having the name, when you are taking to this line of living, the way of living, one thing is you will feel that you are exclusively interested and engaging in your study and no other thing is important to you. That remains you. Secondly, others also will not disturb you unnecessarily about worldly things. But he always said, the sapling grows, not the fence. The fence will be staying as it is, only the sapling will grow out of the fence. Once it grows out of the fence, then there is no more security of the fence necessary. Now, the sapling once becomes a tree, a huge, strong tree, then what is the need for any of this external covering? So too, this only a reminder to you. Once you grow in this, then you are not anymore feeling insecure at all. Then you must establish yourself in that. So, Jnanat eva the kaivalyam. Jnanat eva the moksha. So jnanat eva ajnana nasha. So that is said, not any other ways. So in the next verse he says, Nasteirna Nasteirna Shastrein Alilena Vaknina Chetum na Shakyo Naja Karma Kotibhi Viveka Vijnana Mahasina Vina Dhatu prasadena sitena manjuna Nastrena shastrena anilena vaknina Chetum na shakyo na cha karma kotibhi Viveka vijnana mahasina vina Dhatu prasadena sitena manjuna. Is written Shitena or Sitena? Sitena. Sa, Sha. It should be Sha. Shita means sharpened. Shita, not Sita. In mistake in the CCMT publication there, it becomes Shitena. Dhatu prasadena. Dhatu means karma phala dhatu. Ishvaraha, Data. Here, one should understand Dhatu Prasadad Mahimanamatmana. Upanishad also says. Only by the grace of the Lord alone one can understand the greatness of the Lord. So here, Ayam Bandhaha Dhatu Prasadena Parameshwarasya Anugrahena. By the grace of the Lord, Shitena, Nishitena, Dikshnena, Dridena, Iti, Yavat. Only by the sharpened buddhi, very keen intellect, extremely subtle buddhi alone, which is called sharpened. Here, sharpened does not mean, it's like when you take a bow and put an arrow should be sharp enough so that it can pierce that. So, Dhatu prasadena shritena. Shritena, as we said, then tikshnena, sharp. Yamai vesha vrunade tena labhyaha tastasyesha atma vibrunade tanum swam. Only those who have exclusively taken to choose that. Manjuna, the word Manjuna is given the Ramaniyena. Most beautiful. Ramaniya here means Viveka Vijnana Mahasina. That mind which has become very clear due to discriminative knowledge, which is considered as the sharp sword. Mahasina Vivekat Anatma Atma Vivekchanat Jatam Yad Vijnanam Yat Brahma Sakshatkara Sayeva Mahan Cha Asau means Asischa Khadgaha Tena Vina. Without that sharpened sword, which is called in the form of clarity in thinking with about differentiation of the self and the not self, that is the constant sharpening of the buddhi. Buddhi sharpened does not mean alert. Sharpened buddhi means aware. Become aware. See, people are alert also. Alert buddhi is necessary, but that is more of a smart fellow. That's alert. But here it is sharpness in the form of constantly aware. What is Atman? What is Anatman? Vina, tena vina, without that, buddhi, which is sharpened, astraihi, agnyadivihi. Astra means that which is thrown from your, like, what do you call that? Missiles, which are released from your hand. That is astra. Astraihi, nachetum, nashayadum shakyah, shastraihi, lohamayehi, bhanadibihi. Shastra also, like, again, bana here to be understood as, again, arrows which are released from the hand, but sometimes it is used as sword also. This Nachetum nashayadum shakyah Evam anilena vayuna na chetum nashayitum shakyah, not by air, vahnina agnina na shadaktum shakyah, by fire it cannot be burned. Nacha karma kotibihi. You can do 100 crores of actions, not normal action, even Vedic rituals also. You do all sort of puja and this, that. Oh, kuch nahi hoga. Bandha moksha na karmana. That's why you say na karmana. Many of these priests and prophets won't like that, but what to do? Bhagavan Shankara is very clear. Karma kotbihi na nashitum shakyah. Bandhanashanam na shakyah. Vedoktairabi karmanam kotyah tairabi na nashayidum shakyah. You can do all the various rituals. You can do upasana, you can do mantra japa, you can do that, this. Sorry, you cannot. By getting punya, no. By all the mantra japas, no. All the various rituals, no. So probably he was the revolutionary of his time. Probably all the karma kandins will be really waiting to kill him. But he was very straight and straightforward about his. That is what the Upanishad said, that is what the reality, and he has himself realized that only he was able to say that. Ajnana mulakatvat jnana eka nivartyam iti, jnana eka nivartya iti bhavaha. Jnana eva nivartyaha, jnanat eva nivarti. Tadacha asya svandasya vimokshaha ishvara prasada janita paramatma babeda sakshatkaradi yuktam khatam vimokshasya vimokshahityasya patrasya uttaram. So only the answer given katam vimokshaha bandhanat. The uttaram is Ishvara prasada janita paramatma abheda sakshatkara. The realization of the self with the grace of the Lord, by which one understands the non-dual presence of the self. Differenceless. Abheda sakshatkara. Now, nacha karma koti bihi, when it is said by Shankaracharya, there are people up in the arms. Why then Vedas become useless? Obviously, Vedanta is a part of the Vedas. Upanishads are part of the Shastra. The bulk of the Shastra is about karma. Towards the end only the philosophy comes. So the end part is opposing the very beginning itself. So, naja karma kotibihi ityuktatvat karmanam vaidikanam nitaram anapeksha iti shankayam. So the doubt comes. So that means to say all the Vedic rituals, etc., which are prescribed, are to be given up. Iti shanka, doubt. Tesham buddhi shuddhyartam apeksham. Shankaracharya is very clever on this. Veda ukta karmani na nashasya hetuhu avidya nasha hetuhu bhavati. Parantu jnana utpatyartam chitta shuddhihi avashyakam. Purity of mind is necessary. For the purity of mind, ritual is necessary. Ritual in the sense, not the mere blindly, mechanically doing a ritual, keeping in mind mokshartam aham karomi karma. Na punya praptyartam, na swarga praptyartam. Not for the sake of the gaining the heaven, not for the sake of gaining punya. Because as Gita also says, Shine punya martyalokam vishanti. Only after, upon the exhaustion of punya, everybody comes down only. So therefore, buddhi shuddhyartam apeksham vadantam bandha uchchetaka vijnana hetum ah. It becomes a very good qualifier for gaining knowledge. By karma, jnanam na sambhavati. Karma does not lead to any knowledge. But karma leads to the preparation of the buddhi for knowledge. It is like, I want to cook. I go to the market and pick up the best of the vegetables and bring it home and sleep. Cooking will not happen. Or even if I put it on the vessel and everything, Bhaknim vina pakvam na sambhavati. Without the fire, cooking is not possible. What is the verse? Quick. Pahaksya bhaknivat jnanam vina mokshaha sambhavati. Jnanam vina mokshaha na sambhavati. Pakasya bhaknivat. Pakasya, for cooking, fire is necessary. In the same way, the preparation is preparation, all right. After mind has become pure, if you don't go to the guru or go to the shastra to gain knowledge, what use is the purity of mind? You have a pure, clean vessel with no content. Keep it on the showcase. That is what is useful. But the vessel is not for keeping in the showcase. Vessel is to put something and keep it there. So pure, clean vessel without a content is useless. Many houses, when I go, China ware, it comes out only once in a year, probably. One boy came to, when I went to somebody's house, the new China ware was in front of me. The lady of the house started serving. The boy was looking at it. So, why are you looking at it? This is the first time I'm seeing it on the table. All the time it was there in the showcase only. So obviously, what for is that China ware if it is not used for eating? Similarly, Chitta Shuddhi Anantaram Jnana Prapti. If the knowledge is not gained, what is the point of purity of mind? So, Bandha Uchetaga Vijnana Hetu. Therefore, he says, Shruti Pramanait Ekamate Swadharma Nishtatayevatma Shuddhirasya Vishuddha Buddhe Paramatma Vedanam Tenaiva Samsara Samulanashaha Shruti Pramane Kamate Swadharma Nishtatayevatma Vishuddhirasya Vishuddha Buddhe Paramatma Vedanam Tenaiva Samsara Samulanashaha Ekamatehe Swadharma Nishta Shruti Pramanehi. Shruti means scriptures, shastras are meant for us to know what is my Swadharma. This is important topic. Even in Gita it comes Swadharme Nidanam Shreyaha Paradharmo Bhayavaha Ityadi. Why Bhagavan Krishna emphasized upon Swadharma there? Swadharma Anushtane eva Vasana Kshayaha Sambhavati. To some extent, our inherent desires, tendencies, inclinations, which pushes us towards the world of action, can be attenuated only when we direct those actions for purity of mind, and the purity of mind will be achieved only when those actions are able to reduce our vasanas instead of increasing it. And therefore, Swadharma is an expression of vasanas only to self-cancel itself. If the vasanas are not self-canceling, it will only create more. It will strengthen more and more vasanas will come. The existing vasanas will not get exhausted. The example is, in the case of Arjuna, he says that I don't want to be a warrior, I want to become a sannyasi. I don't want to fight the war. So his mind has started to incline towards going away from his world of activity. But his vasanas for being a Kshatriya is not died. He wanted to fight. The reason why he is not fighting is not Vairagya. Did he get the Vairagya? Did he get the dispassion over the situation? No. He said, I'm afraid of the result. I'm afraid I will be told as the killer of the dynasty. I'm afraid that I have to fight with my own guru, my own acharya, and in the process, even if I get the country, I will definitely be branded as one who had killed his own people for his own personal reasons. This is not Vairagya. It is not born out of jnanam. It is not born out of desirelessness. It is out of fear. Fear of this failure. Fear of the consequences. So even if he had taken to sannyas, do you think his original inclination of a kshatriya will go? That's why he said, Bhagavan Krishna says, if you go away from here, karmendriyani sanyamya yaste manasa smaran, your mind will not keep quiet. It will bring out your vasanas again and again. Because that is not dead. Therefore, even if you renounce the activity of war and go and stay in solitude, swabhavastu pravartate. At some point of time, you will come out of it. Why? Because your swabhava, your vasanas are there. Therefore, why it is prescribed in our Shastra, according to your swabhava, there should be your swadharma. That's why swadharma nidhanam shreya. So that swadharma, what is the swadharma for Arjuna is Kshatriya dharma. War. In that war, karma phalam anuddishya, without desiring for a result of that action, out of that what you do, karma phalam anuddishya yak karma karoti, one who does the action, tasmat, by that very action, vasana kshaya sambhavati. Because vasana kshaya takes place by not anymore seeking a result out of that action, itself cancels, exhausts. If you are putting that very vasana in a field which is not in congruence with your action is not in congruence with vasana, existing vasanas are still there, new vasanas will get in. Therefore, swadharma according to swabhava. And that is the swabhava in general is divided into Brahmana swabhava, Kshatriya swabhava, Vaishya swabhava, Shudra swabhava. So then we should know for a Kshatriya what is the line of activity. For Shudra, what is the line of activity? For the Vaishya, what is the line of activity? What is a Brahmana, what is the line of activity? Therefore, he says here, Tasmat Shastram Pramanam Te Karya Akarya Vyavastito. Gita. Shastram Pramanam. Shastra is the means to know what? Karya Akarya. What to do, what not to do. You as a Kshatriya, you have to do the warrior work and not to do Brahmana's work. Why? Because that is not your vasana. If you do that, your Kshatriya vasana will remain same. It will not get exhausted. At some point of time, it will start showing up. And your Brahmana vasana will start accumulating more. So one is remaining unexhausted, new things have come in. You're more caught up. So, Tasma Shastram Pramanam Karya Karyavasto Nyatva Shastra Vidana Uktam Karma, as it is spoken in the Shastra when you start to engage, Karma Kartum Iha Arhasi. Here you are fit to do that. Iti Gita Vachanat Tatra Shruti Pramane Eka Ananya Sakta Mukhya Matihi Buddhihi Yasya Saha Shruti Pramane Kamatihi. That's one single compound. Shruti Pramana Eka Matihi, meaning whatever is said in the Shastra Eva Mama Karmanaha Pramanam Iti Matihi. The mind that is set on knowing what is said in the Shastra alone is my action. That asakti, that clear understanding and depending on that correct understanding is called ekamatihi. Tasya swadashashreyase kartavya karma vishaye shruti ekasharanasya ityartha. The only dependence on him. So you don't go by what the community or the variety of the world outside expects you to do. No. You find out. See, when I am driving a car, I can take the help of a trainer. But actually, finally, what I have to do? I have to drive my car myself only. The trainer is for some time, he will be there to tell me what is to be done. So Shastra Jnanam api, once you gain the access to the Shastra, then it clearly prescribes what you should do. Only if you do not have the Shastra access, then you ask others who are walking the same path and ask them what I should do. That's why in the Taittiriya Upanishad it is said, Vichikitsa, if you have a doubt, Karma Vichikitsa va vritti Vichikitsa syat etatta brahmana asammarshinaha yukta ayuktaha aluksha dharma kamasyuhu yata te tatra varteran tata tatra vartethaha. If you don't have the access Shastra, do go to the people who have been walking according to the Shastra, follow them. That's what happens in today's world, right? We do not have direct access to Shastra. We do not know what we are supposed to do. Then whom will we follow? Those who have understood and following with an intent to purify themselves, not for the worldly gains. People who have their mind set upon doing the right things, thereby they become free of their vasanas. Follow them. Etatra brahmana asammarshinaha yukta ayukta alukta sarvakamasyuhu. Those who have become free from all desires. Yata te tatra varteran, the way they work, tata tatra vartetaha. So here, swadharmanishta swasya dharma swavarnasya ashramasya cha vihitah karma kalapaha swadharma. What is it? Swadharma means swasya dharma, one's own duty. What is it? Swavarnasya, according to one's varna, Kshatriya, Brahmana, or Vaishya, or Shudra. Swa ashramasya, which stage you are, whether you are brahmacharya or grihastha or vanaprastha or sannyasa. So ashramasya vihitah karma kalapah swadharma. Tatra nishta nitaram stitihi edam paryena anushtanam swadharma nishta taya eva swadharma ananya asaktataya stitihi. Ananya asaktataya, without thinking about what others are doing, and you don't need to follow what others do. Because, in case of Arjuna says, oh, okay, I understood that I need to follow somebody else's sannyasa dharma. No, not allowed. Why? In your own swadharma alone, you will be able to come out of it. Do not imitate others. Do not go by what others do. Unless you do not have an access, as I said, to Shastra, then go to those people who are able to guide you rightly. What is your ashrama, what is your varna, and what sadharma you have to do. So, asya sadhakasya jivasya atma shuddhihi atmanaha antakaranasya visheshena shuddhihi papakshayaha. What is vishuddhihi? Which is said here, is Viveka Vijnana Vishuddha Buddhehe Paramatma Vedanam. Before that, Vishuddha Buddhi. What is called purity of mind? Papakshayaha. Reduction of sin, reduction of sinful thoughts. It is said, Jnanam Utpatyade Pumsam Shayat Papasya Karmanaha. Pumsam Jnanam Utpatyade. Among the human, the knowledge will take place only when there is reduction of papa. Kashaya bhaktihi karm bhaktihi karmani jnanam tu paramangatihi kashayam karmabihi pakve tato jnanam pravartate. Now you see, We listen to Shastra, we listen to the lectures, we listen to many things, yet we are not able to catch the spirit of it. So many different lectures we listen to, so many different books we read, but we are not able to catch the right point. Why? Kashaya. Kashaya means coloring, contamination of the mind. See, even when we listen for 1 hour, yesterday I was in South Bay, I was giving a satsang there, and one lady very interested to listen, but she's a teacher. So she was in the class, Balware class, and her husband was there in the class for listening. So then last part she came, Swamiji, I missed your class. I said, yeah, because you are teaching. So, and then after that, when I was coming out, she was with her husband. And then I asked her, what are you asking him? I asked him to tell me in brief about what you told in the class. I said, look, when I spoke to you and these parents for 1 hour, he might have taken only 25% of it. Because how many distractions? Out of 25, when he comes to talk to you, only 10% of it he can tell you. Out of that, only 5% you understand. Out of which only 1% you follow. Now tell me, how much of the knowledge can be transferred to you? It depends upon the receptacle. If the receiving entity is full of impurity, then obviously the knowledge will not stay. Gurudev used to say, your mind is a holy pot. Everything goes out. So many distractions. So obviously nothing stays. So kashaya, that's what is called katash, contamination. When the impurities get ripened means what? When they are no more. See, it is interesting thing is why the word kashaya panktihi, it says kashaye karmabihi pankte, pakve, sorry. So if there is a tree and there are a lot of fruits, what is the ripe fruit? Tell me. Ripe fruit is that which get detached from the tree. No, ripe, I say. Ripe fruit is that which falls away. The same way, impurities, when it is fallen away, then only it's called the mature mind. Mature mind is that where the papa karma become ripened. Ripened here does not mean it has become more strong. No, ripened means ready to go. That's why he says, kashaye karma bihi pakve. When that, it has become pakva, tato jnanam pravartate. Only then knowledge will take place. Iti pramana anusarena vishuddha nashta ragadveshade sakala vida doshaha buddhihi. When there is no more likes and dislikes, that kind of a buddhi yasya tasya vishuddha buddhehe paramatma vedanam abedena paramatma sakshatkaraha. Vedanam here means realization or knowing of the self directly. Teneva paramatma vedanene eva samsara mula nashaha samulam nashaha samsarasya and ajnanadi dukkha antasya bandhasya atyanta muchcheda ityartha. That is what is considered as the total destruction of the avidya or the ignorance that holds the bondage, continues to exist with the support of the ajnanam, and the jnanam eva tasya nashasya karanam, jnanasya karanam vishuddha buddhihi, buddhushuddhehe karanam karma. This is how the connection. By knowledge alone moksha. Because jnana nasha only because jnana utpatti. Jnanam takes place only in a pure mind. Only pure mind means there is less of impurity. Less of impurity is caused by karma. And therefore karma is important. So he doesn't put the karma as important for no other reason. No, karma is important for the purity. Therefore, Vedokta karma is meant for Chitta Shuddhi. So Viveka Vijnana Mahasine अत्यत्र वेगवेगजन्यं विज्ञानम् इति उक्तं तयोः विवेकः कथम् एतद् उच्यताम्. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. आत्मा को नाम बन्धः कर्मेश आदः कथं प्रतिष्ठा च कथं विमोक्षः कोसावनात्मा परमक आत्मा. He has already explained that. What is Atman, not Anatman? Now, Atma Anatma Vivechanam Katham. How is the differentiation between Atma and Anatma? Idi Purvam Shishyena Prishtaha Purvam Stula Sukshma Karana Shariranam Samanyataha Kadanena Sangrahitam Tad Vistarena Prapanchayatum Samaravade. Earlier he said very clearly, Atma Anatma Viveka is possible by knowing the nature of the self independent of the koshas. Panchakoshat Vyadiriktaha. Different. But now that is again brought in by Shankaracharya in saying that how that kosha viveka will take place, that he is going to say in the next verse. That is verse number 149. It is not set to any particular meter, so we'll read that. Koshairannamayate panchaviratma न संवृतो भवति न संवृतो भाति निज शक्ति समुत्पन्नैः शैवालपटलैः इवाम्बुवापीस्तम्. We'll leave it there because there's no set to any meter. Annamayaddehi koshaihi panchabihi. By the 5 koshas, Atma na samvruto bhati. It is not covered. It cannot be. As we saw in the Panchadashi also, Ajnanena avrutam jnanam iti katitam, it is said, but jnanam katam ajnanena avrutam bhavati. Swaprakashatvat. Self-luminous, self-luminous consciousness, how can ever it be covered by ajnana? But that is the present experience by saying, Kutastham janasi va. What is the answer? Na asti, na bhati, kutastha. Iti vadati buddhva api. Buddhva vivatati. Even though he knows, he says that. So here, really speaking, there is no covering of the panchakoshas. Nijashakti samutpannaihi shaivalapatalehi iva ambuhu vapistam. Vapistam, like in the well, in a vapi means a pond also. Vapistam shaivalapatalehi iva ambuhu. Like the water which has got a mass covering it. Green mass covering the water, because of which the reflection of the light will not take place. The reflection of the light doesn't take place because of the covering of the mass. From where the mass is covered, created? Itself only. The water itself creates the mass and then covers itself. So that is the example that is given here. Covered by the 5 sheaths, such as the food sheath, etc., which are produced by its own divine power, the self ceases to appear, just as the water in a tank ceases to appear due to the collection of mass. So you can say, na samvruto bhavati bhati, but na bhati, samvrutaha na bhati. This is how it is taken now here. Koshai samvrutaha atma na bhati. But actually, it is said that because of the covering of the koshas, the elimination of consciousness as though doesn't take place. Actually, it does not cover. That's one way as na samvruto bhati. Na samvrutaha Atma bhati. Because even to know the kosha, you need consciousness. Now here, salila eko drishta ityadi shrutibihi nirmala jalavat swachasya atmanah sputataya kutah na banam iti shankayam. If this self-luminous Atman is there, why it is not self-revealing? Kutah na banam iti shankayam tatrapi tadeva jalam drishtantayan. Showing this water as an example, sputa abana hetum. Why it is not clearly revealing? Koshaihi iti. Nija shakti samutpannaihi. Nija swakiya. One's own. Nija here means one's own. Swasmin kalpita avidya. The self-created ignorance. Taya samutpannaihi. Created by it. Jataihi. Annamayadhyaihi. Annamaya. That is food sheath, etc. Vakshamanaihi. Panchabihi koshaihi. Asehe. Koshavat. Like that of the air covering. Sthitaihi. Avarakaihi. Anandamaya antaihi. Up to the end of all the Panchakoshas ending in Anandamaya. Swa upalabdhi pradibandhaka upalabdhi vishayaihi samvriddha avriddha atma nabhati. Na viviktadaya sputam basate. So, even as we say I, it always refers to what we immediately identify with. If I am physically having some pain, then myself, I, having pain, what I mean by I is their body. I have a very, very difficulty in breathing. Then you are referring to pranamaya kosha. I have so much of emotional trauma. You're referring to manoshakti. I'm confused. Buddhi. Anandamaya kosha, I don't know. That is Anandamaya. All these things, even though the I is referred to consciousness, but it is immediate reference point is a kosha. So therefore, it doesn't itself exclusively seen. That's what it is. Viviktataya sputam na basate. Exclusively, it is not seen. It is always associated with something. Tatra drishtantah nijashaktim samutpannaihi jalagata dravatva dharma samutpannaihi shaivala patalaihi shaivala panktibihi vapistam ambu iva yata vabigatam jalam tata eva jataihi shambhalaihi samvritam achadidam na sputataya bhati tata ityartah. The water, not actually reflection. Even the water is seen clearly. Not seen. Because of the green moss, Sometimes it looks like a grass. By mistake, you put your feet there. Bloom inside. Because it is, there's a green patch. Only when some fish comes up and goes, then oh, there is water there. Until then, it will look like a green patch of land because it is created by its own mass. What is to say here is self-created avidya covers the Atman through Panchakoshas. We'll see more of it in the next class. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayaha Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukkhavat Bhavet. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari